To work your upper back, Jess will do bent over laterals. To position yourself for this exercise, Jess will place his feet directly in front of him, feet flat on the floor. Also, he'll bring his chest down to his thighs, resting his chest comfortably on his thighs, at the same time grabbing the weights palms in. This is also a palms in exercise. You want to be sure that your palms remain in, and as you bring it under your thighs, that you bring the weights together. As he proceeds with the exercise, he'll be leading with his elbows up, bringing his arms slightly to the front to avoid any hyperextension. This exercise works not only your trap muscles, but also your upper back and also your rear delts. While doing this exercise, you want to choose a weight that's comfortable so that you maintain complete control over each exercise and each movement. Make sure that you leave your elbows bent slightly to avoid any hyperextension in your elbows. And as you bring the weight up, you want to bring it just a tad bit forward. In addition, if you notice, Jess, with his form, is leaving his head perfectly straight and aligned with his back. He's not picking his head up, but he's leaving it down, facing the ground. We do between 10 and 12 reps, and we do 3 sets of 12 each time. Okay, let's do 3 more. You notice that's working his inside muscles on the top of his back.
Barry's going to be demonstrating the one-arm dumbbell row. First of all, I'd like to talk about a position. It's going to be a tripod position, keeping your back flat, your head in a neutral position, and slowly pulling the dumbbell up towards your waist, leading with the elbow. Always making sure you lower the dumbbell for that full stretch. Good. Always make sure to keep your knees bent right here to prevent stress in your lower back. Make sure you lead with the elbow all the way up past your waist.
With this particular exercise, it's a two-sided exercise. When you do this workout, you want to do the same weight on both sides of your body. Jess and I typically, with this workout, do between 12 and 15 reps. As the weight gets to be easier and easier to lift, go ahead and increase your weight between 5 and 10 pounds. You want to be sure that you maintain complete control over each individual stretching movement, whether it be lowering it or bringing it up to your waist. To create that monstrous back and those thick lats like my workout partner Jess has, we're going to demonstrate to you the upright barbell rows. Jess will bend at the knees and using his quads and his butt to lift the weight. He'll bring the weight up, sitting up no further than leaving his torso parallel to the ground. He'll grab the weight bar about a little wider than shoulder distance and bring the weight into his midsection of his stomach. You'll note that as he's doing the exercise, it's working his rhomboid muscles, his trap muscles, and also his rear delts. As Jess does the exercise, he's leading with his elbows, bringing them up so they reach a 90-degree angle, and then letting them down slowly. On this particular exercise, make sure you choose a weight that will allow you to maintain complete control over the exercise and also do even flowing repetitions up and down. Let's do 3 more. 1, 2.
Barry and I usually do 3 sets, 8 to 10 reps on this exercise, pyramiding on each set, which is upping the weight around 10 pounds. This is a concentration dumbbell curl. Just simply sit at the edge of the bench, anchoring your elbow into your inner thigh, keeping your wrist straight, slowly curling the weight up, holding for a brief second for peak contraction. This exercise is also working the forearms, and you want to curl the weight slowly towards the shoulder. We usually do between 12 to 15 reps on all 3 sets of this exercise. For assistance, you can use your free hand.
I can tell that I'm doing it correctly because I feel the burn in my bicep. Now, as Jess and I do this exercise, we concentrate on doing between 12 and 15 reps. If you can start doing 12 to 15 reps easily on each set, you want to increase your weight by 5 pounds. Also, you'll know that if you're doing the weight incorrectly, you move your elbow up, then your elbow rocks back on the other side of your thigh. Your elbow has to remain anchored at all times. And when I first started doing this exercise, I used to bring the weight across my chest. The weight has to come straight up to your top of your shoulder and down in controlled motion, leaving your wrist straight at all times. Again, assisting myself, place my hand under my working hand wrist, just giving myself a little help up. To work your bicep muscle, Jess will demonstrate the standing barbell curl. Jess will pick up the bar, again, by bending at the knees, using his quads and his legs to lift the bar, at the same time maintaining a stance that's a comfortable one, but no further than shoulder width. Jess also has grabbed the bar a little wider than shoulder width, and he'll bring the weight towards him just below his chin and just above his chest. As you'll see as he's doing this exercise, it's working the center part of his bicep and at the same time working the forearm muscle. Typically we do between 10 to 12 reps of this exercise, making sure that your back remains straight, your head is in the neutral position looking forward, and you're not swaying back and forth. A good indication that you're using too light a weight is that you're able to get these 10 to 12 reps out with no problem. When you start the exercise, you're only able to get between 4 and 5 reps, and you're probably using too much a weight. Make sure that your elbows are in at all times. As you're bringing up the weight, your triceps are going to become parallel to the ground. While doing your reps, there's a few things that you want to avoid. First, don't bend your wrists. Make sure they remain straight at all times. In addition, don't ever straighten out your elbows completely to avoid hyperextension. Also, be sure that your knees are slightly bent and avoid rocking back and forth. Okay, let's do 2 more. 1, 2.
Another exercise for the biceps is a seated one-arm alternating dumbbell curl. You want to keep your feet flat on the floor, feet together, knees together, curling one dumbbell up at a time. Always making sure your wrists are coming up midway up the movement, squeezing at the top for a peak contraction. Always make sure to keep your elbows in tight and lowering the weight under complete control.
When Jess and I do this exercise, we typically do 3 sets between 8 and 10 reps with the same weight, making sure that our back is straight at all times, and to avoid any rocking or jerking motion with our upper body.
For some spotting assistance, you might want to grab your partner's wrist and simply just push up on him. Go 2 more there.
You want to avoid a lot of jerking motion with the weight by swinging forward each time. If you start doing this type of motion, you're typically using too much weight. You want to be nice, controlled motions both up and down. It's a palms in exercise for the beginning, then a palms up exercise at the peak contraction.